Hi, welcome to You, Me and Mediumship. Welcome back yet again. I was asked a question literally minutes ago, so I thought what I'll do is just do a very brief talk on that. And I just want to briefly touch on, as you know, I in the past I've done quite a bit of writing, and a lot of it with spiritual influence, where I've put a question out there, I've sat putting that question out to spirit and sat and just scribbled down the replies that I get to some of the questions that I put out there. Some I just find absolutely astounding, some of the answers I get. Obviously not me, it's not my sort of writing. I'm not a writer by any way, shape or form, really. I do enjoy it now and again, but not to the extent that Spirit put across some of the words is just amazing. And sometimes I have to read it 2 or 3 times, even for myself, to try and understand it. I've got just a simple statement here. This isn't a deep statement at all, but I want to answer the question first regarding, I think it was Ash actually who asked the question about scribbling. We see mediums sitting down now with notepads and doing a scribble whilst giving a reading, and you've asked really, is it worth a try? Anything that works for you is always worth a try. It doesn't matter. There is no rule book with mediumship, okay? If you sit there scratching your head because it helps you concentrate, it helps you expand that energy, it helps you receive, it does not matter what you do, okay? This seems to be quite an in thing at the moment with scribbling down onto a notepad. I can see the reason behind it. I understand why these mediums do it. It's a focal point. And it goes for a lot of things, really. It's the same with like a tarot card. Okay, you've got a picture there on the card itself with meaning, but you've also got that card there. It is a focal point. So you are receiving from that card, and you're also receiving from energy around you. Because you are focused, okay, the mind is not at the forefront. It is relaxing, it is focused, and it is working for you. Not the physical mind, but in a sense, the subconscious mind is kicking in. You are relaxed, and you are allowing that flow of energy. Same with the crystal ball. You get imagery within that ball will start to, it's a focal point for you, and that allows that peace of mind, that relaxation, that focus, for that energy to be able to flow and for you to merge with it and hear, see, sense from it. So it is the same with a pad. You may well think somebody's scribbling, okay, on a piece of paper can be quite annoying and would more than likely put you off, but it doesn't. Okay, that scribbling on a piece of paper, what some of the mediums are doing, is simply their focal point. It helps them to connect. It helps them to relax, helps them to go to that place that we talk about a lot, the place that you learn through sitting, or you find through sitting in the power. It's that place that you go that belongs to you. The crystal ball, the card, the scribbling on the notepad, all helps take that mind to that place. What it's doing is taking away all outside energy, all outside influences. It's taking them away from you so that you can focus. So as you're scribbling, you are focusing, okay, and that allows the energy to flow that bit better. So whatever works for you, by all means, try it, okay? And I would imagine, it's something I've never done myself, but I can imagine it's probably something that you work with for a while to see if it really, really helps. So yeah, have a go. Have a go. There's, like I said, there is no rule book. And those that say there is, then I'd like to see one. Because if all mediums are working by a rule book, then that is worrying, because it is a personal thing, okay? This work that you do and the way you do it belongs to you. Do it your way. It's important that you do that, okay? The only one thing we must all remember, without any doubt whatsoever, is you must be respectful. Okay, whatever you do to help enhance that communication, as long as it is respectful to the energies that you work with, there is absolutely no harm in that at all. Okay, as long as you are respectful. As long as we do it from the heart, from the soul, whether we scribble or not, makes no difference. So, yes, by all means, give it a try. And one medium I'm sure you've all seen on YouTube uses that method, and that comes from a lot of focus work that he did early on through what I call it's like screeing. In other words, sitting with a mirror. He used to focus in the mirror in dimmed light, just focus in that mirror, focusing hard on the mirror, and it allowed him to still his mind, to allow that communication to flow. So obviously you don't walk around with a big mirror and turn the lights down every time you do a reading, but that scribbling just helps him to go to the place that he discovered while he was doing the screening in the mirror. So it's you learn to go to that place. So keep working hard with that. Yeah, have a go, by all means. There was a question I put out. I'm going back a number of years here, so forgive me if I'm a bit vague. But there was a few questions, actually, that I put out regarding the teaching of mediumship, if it was possible to teach mediumship. I mean, every time I put that question out there, and obviously now I understand a lot more than what I did then in the early days, but every time I put that question out there, the answer was constant. It was always the same. It never faltered. It was always came back, sometimes in a different form, in a different way, but the end result was always the same. You cannot teach mediumship. Okay, you can guide somebody to that door. They must find the key. Okay, I've said it before, probably a million times on the videos. You're probably getting very bored with it now. But you can take somebody to where they need to be, and then it is down to them. Okay, I've just done a video for Patreon where I worked through some of the writings that I did over the years, and we read them, and then I work through them and kind of explain what they mean. Some are deeper than others, some are very basic. This is very basic. I think I was communicating about learning mediumship, and this is a very small part of what they said. And we was talking about, funny enough, sitting in the silence. That's why I keep harping on about it. Sorry to bore you, but anyway. And the reply was simply this. And they said, by sitting in the silence, you hear true self and become inwardly aware that the best place to cross the river is where it is at its calmest. Listen elsewhere and the crossing is not as calm. The destination may well be the same for all. Depends on how much water you want to take on board reaching it. Right, quite where that came from, I don't know. But it's so self-explanatory, and that's what I love. Like I did a video about, mediumship is not complicated, and it's not complicated. It's man that makes it complicated. The way we live our lives makes it complicated. And they are basically giving you the biggest hint ever here by saying, by sitting in the silence, you hear true self, which we know, we've talked about that, and become inwardly aware that the best place to cross the river is where it is at its calmest. So in other words, to reach that point, that place that I was just talking about, we realise that we need to be in that silence, in that calm that they talk of. And we learn over the years that by sitting in that silence, we are capable of crossing that river a lot more simply. In other words, we will learn more, we will understand more whilst we are calm, while the mind is in that silence, if you like. So listen elsewhere and the crossing not as calm. Now I find that part I had to think about a little bit when I can remember after writing this bit down. So listen elsewhere and the crossing not as calm. So in other words, if we outwardly try to learn mediumship, if we outwardly take on board everything that we are told to do, that people insist we do, and we are more than likely going to struggle, because we are taking on other people's methods, we are taking on other people's ways of communication. The problem with that is it does not work for all. It is a personal thing. So it's you can't, what they're saying basically is the river will be very rough if that's all you do. Okay, so if all you do is sit and read books and how to do this, how to do that, then the road, or the river in this case, is going to be not as calm as sitting in the silence. So it's quite self-explanatory. The destination may well be the same for all. In other words, everyone who wants to work with mediumship, the destination is the same. We all want to be able to give good, clear evidence of survival of death. We all want to do that. So our destination is the same, exactly what they say here. The destination may well be the same for all. And I like the little quirky bit at the end. Depends on how much water you want to take on board reaching it. Yeah. So don't make it hard for yourself, in other words. You don't want to be bailing yourself out of this madness of nothing's working for me, and eventually maybe just giving up. So by sitting in the silence, you hear true self and become inwardly aware that the best place to cross the river is where it is at its calmest. Listen elsewhere and the crossing not as calm. The destination may well be the same for all. Depends on how much water you want to take on board reaching it. So there you go. A little statement that came to me, like I said, many moons ago. And it's all about, the question was about the path of learning mediumship. How can we guide people into it? So there it is in a nutshell, really. Like I've said before and harped on about in the past, sitting in the silence is the key to that door and learning from spirit. So I hope you like that little video. I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, scribble away. You know, whatever helps you. Like I said, it's your personal journey. So enjoy it. And I hope to speak to you again very soon. Please like and subscribe. And I'll keep putting a few videos on. Patreon's getting busy. I'm getting less time on here now. So, you know, if I disappear for a week or whatever, all is well. I'm just working away with the people on there. So I hope you enjoyed it. Like and subscribe. Pop over to Patreon. You, me and Mediumship. Speak to you again very soon. Have a lovely evening. Take care. Bye for now.